And I am a big component of self-care because like I shared with you guys, sometimes boundaries wasn't set with the people I love most. So I am very big on self-care. I call it like your medication, right? There are different facets of self-care. So there is
Hello, welcome back to another great episode of Love Speaks. Love speaks what love is, whether it is spiritually, currently, or culturally.
yes.
Here on Love Speaks, we love to speak with those who have a strong passion
Mm.
for what they do, what they're involved in, and they allow their love to speak, whether it is through community work, through their career, or just in everyday living. Love Speaks. I'm your host, Francois, along with.
Lakeisha, the co-host. Glad to be here.
Hey, we're glad for you to be here. Welcome
I'm
back. You did take a
back.
little season off for a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Why you took off?
I was finishing up my internship and practicum, and finally I am finished. Got my official email confirmation. My degree, master's degree in clinical mental health, is in the mail.
Amen.
Awesome.
It
And
is.
I'm right behind you. This week I need to apply so I can go ahead and begin my master's degree in mental health,
Amen.
clinical mental health. That's a part. That's a strong part in my passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Bible says, "Let this mind be in you, which is also in
Mm.
Christ Jesus." And
Mhm.
so, God is concerned about the mind, and not only God, everywhere
Oh yeah.
Yes.
is concerned about the mind.
Oh yeah.
In my daily occupation, I can just recognize so many people
Mm.
who need help. They need someone to talk to. And so there's someone for everybody.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Watch this. Even if you got to pay for
Indeed.
it. And there's nothing wrong with seeking trusted counsel.
Yes.
Yes.
So I congratulate you. I look forward to going down that same exact path because I think this is something I can do for the rest of my life. Just sit
Amen.
with people
Amen.
and just see you grow and develop and be the best version of yourself.
That's right.
Yes. You got my support, just as I've had yours. I'm here
Awesome.
for the ride. You got this.
Let's ride. All right. So today we're going to keep up with this same momentum. Who do we have today?
I'm so excited. We have not only is she become a friend, but she was my supervisor for my practicum and internship 1 and 2. And so I learned so much from this dynamic, extraordinary woman.
Mm.
She's a genuine person who loves people, but also loves and seeing people be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I was drawn to her as a supervisor, because she has her own practice here locally in the city as well. She's great in her business and what she's done as a therapist, mental health therapist herself. She is trained,
Mm.
she is licensed, and she is certified
Hey.
as a therapist. And so I want to introduce, we have Camila Cross with Your Worth LLC. Welcome, Camila.
Oh
Welcome.
my gosh, guys, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on this platform. I'm going to tell you, every time I hear an intro about myself, I think about the little girl who grew up in Miami Gardens. And I say it's by the grace of God that I'm here. And I'm telling you, I am so blessed and so excited about being in my purpose and being on this platform. And I want to tell you guys, we need to give it up. It's being a counselor, a therapist is not easy. And Lakeisha was phenomenal and such an amazing asset to the practice. So I thank you for all that you did and you contributed. And I know you're going to do great things. And I can't wait for Francois to start as well. We need Black therapists.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think like only 4% of therapists are Black. That's something that we really need. So I'm excited that we're bringing this to the masses.
Absolutely. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to become one because I know I went through a season in my life when I knew I needed a therapist.
Yeah.
I needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And for me, I wanted someone who was, and I have nothing against any other nationality or not even race, sexist or biased, but I wanted to talk to
Yeah.
a black male with Christian values.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was so hard to find.
Yeah.
And my question was, if I'm looking for that,
Mm.
who else is? And so we're excited for it. And again, I applaud you. I
Thank you.
commend you for your work and just being
Thank
who
you.
you are.
Oh, thank
So
you.
welcome to this platform of Love Speaks.
Yes.
Yay.
Love speak.
All right. So now you said you're amazed about being a little girl
Mm.
growing up in Miami Gardens.
Yeah.
What's your journey on becoming a therapist? How does that little girl from Miami Gardens become this great therapist today?
So I'm going to tell you, I always laugh at how God is so intentional, but how he does things sometimes when we don't fully understand. So I grew up with nurses and teachers. In my family, everyone was an island, so everybody was a nurse or a teacher. And I was like, I don't think I want to do either one of those. But I had one aunt who was a nurse and a therapist. And I thought that was so phenomenal. I'm like, what does she do? And I'm not going to lie, she was fancy, she was jazzy. So I'm like, I like her. I wanted to explore who she was. So I remember being a little girl and I made a decision. I wanted to be a therapist. And it started based on a little bit of vanity, let's be
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
But as I started to grow and go to school with my friends, I remember in elementary school, my friends coming and trusting me with a safe space, which I learned to be a safe space. And they were sometimes the untouchables, right? The bullies, the ones that were misunderstood. But later on, I learned it was because they didn't know how to properly channel the hurt and pain that was going on. So between the grief and between the traumas at home, I became a safe space, and I realized I'm good at this, and I wasn't judgmental. They would tell me, you know, I can trust you because you're not going to judge, you're not going to tell my business. And as I got older, I just started to attract that more. So I said, okay, this is my purpose, this is my assignment. I accept it.
That's amazing. And I can relate on so many areas. And I think that's another motivational factor for me because I easily become that trusted safe space for so many people. I got so many secrets that's going to go in the grave with
I'm
me.
telling you.
I feel like, well, what happened? I can't talk
Yeah.
about it.
So
So that's amazing. And also, I love your story so far because I think whatever motivates you to do well is good motivation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I heard you say it was a little bit of vanity in there.
She was jazzy.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine said, I'm on a diet 'cause I'm trying to lose weight. And they said, child, she just want to lose weight so she can fit into a dress. I
What's
said,
wrong with that?
whatever motivates you
Yeah.
to do well, do it.
Yes.
Don't let that hold you back. Oh, that's fleshly. Oh, that's wrong. If it's going to motivate you to do well,
I'm
go
telling you.
for it.
Yes, yes.
I want to ask the question because I know personally experience with you as a therapist and seeing you in your craft and in your work. And let me tell you, it is a beautiful thing to see and to witness because I know the journey. So, what are some of the biggest barriers balancing your own life and being a therapist?
I think normalizing that life is going to show up, right? And even with all the tools in the toolbox, sometimes you're going to throw the monkey wrench, okay? You're going to have moments where you don't set your boundaries properly. You're going to have moments where you don't cope the best because sometimes things happen that take something out of you. You know, it's not expected that you have a significant loss and you don't have a reaction to that. That's not realistic. I think sometimes society holds these standards towards therapists, towards ministers, towards people in administration where it's like, oh, they shouldn't have did that. But let's normalize it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
And sometimes
good.
it's going things gonna happen. You're gonna have to take a pause.
Mm.
And you might act out of character a little bit, you know, but you gotta catch yourself. I think as therapists we learn to catch ourselves quicker,
Yes.
but we have moments, right? So I've learned to give myself grace. Right, definitely. I've learned to at times take a pause and say, hold on, you got to take your own advice, okay? You're going to have to use these coping skills. You're going to have to go ahead and prioritize. You're going to have to take self care. You're going to have to say no. So I'm really big on taking my pause, putting things in categories, and setting those boundaries. I'm
Good.
not hurting you. Like I have a therapist, right? So I tell people, hey, we create balances because sometimes it's so close you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's
Right.
good.
So my therapist, my life coach, she's amazing. She's like, listen, you're not hurting that person, you're helping you. And
Yes.
I sat with that and I held on to that real tight because it's not an easy road. It's a beautiful assignment that we've accepted, but let's be honest, sometimes it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge. So I think accepting that and then setting those boundaries properly and prioritizing is what helps with being able to do this amazing work that we do.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That is
Yes.
so good. Categorizing, prioritizing. And you said she's told you you're not hurting that person.
Hmm.
You are helping you.
That's right.
And I think that is key when we understand priority.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because priority, I just, for me, I have a thing where there is a difference between being selfish and prioritizing.
Yeah.
Because prioritizing says something comes first.
Yes. Yes.
Selfish is only me.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
right.
care. All
That's
yeah,
right.
and it is definitely a difference.
Mhm.
And I think the world teaches you if you put yourself first that you're being selfish. Selfish
Exactly.
means that you're not considering someone else's feelings,
Mhm.
but it's self-preservation.
That's right.
If you overextend and you deplete yourself, how are you able to actually show up at your best anyways?
Mhm.
So I always say it's not selfish, it's self-preservation.
I love it.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
a big deal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I agree with that. That's one of the things. The different people I get a chance to mentor, I share that same sentiment
Yeah.
with them. Is
Definitely.
that you have to be good for you.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you're not good for you, the same people that you want to be there for,
I'm
the
telling
same
you.
people that do depend on you,
Mm-hmm.
they will not get the best version of you
Yes,
if you are not caring properly
that's true.
for you.
And you know what else I want to add? Because this has been a big, I'm a family girl.
Yes.
Everybody who knows me, I'm a family girl. But I've learned that sometimes when you keep intervening,
Right.
you are the problem, okay?
Yes.
Because we grow in our adversities,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
That's when God refines us.
Yes.
So if you're always showing up for that child who got the F, he earned that F, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
out here going back and forth with the teacher, and then the teacher come to you and say, "Well, this is all the work he didn't do. What you gonna do? I had those sinking moments, like, girl, I'm a side eyeing,
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
and I'm like, you know what? And I had to realize they learn better sometimes when you step back. And now you're like, because God has a whole plan for them too, right? Because I'm thinking about my kids, even
Yes.
sometimes my siblings. God has a whole plan ordained for them too.
Mhm.
And when you intervene, you are blocking the order of what needs to be done.
That's right.
We are not God.
Yeah.
So that has been a really good thing I hold on to too.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
excellent.
That's
'Cause
excellent.
That's that barrier.
Yeah.
That necessary barrier. I can't be your hero every time.
Yeah.
Batman was the hero for Gotham City.
Yeah. And look at all the ways they didn't even appreciate it.
Exactly. So he didn't have to rescue every city and
Yeah,
everybody.
that's true, that's
Because
true.
I agree with you. We learn through adversary. Someone just
Yeah.
recently asked me about how they asked me, have I ever been disappointed with God?
Mm,
And from a realistic place, I had to tell them, a realistic and mature place. I
Yeah.
told them, I'm never disappointed with God,
mm-hmm.
but I have been disappointed with how I expected him to respond.
I like that. I like that.
I expected him to
Yeah.
work one way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was disappointed how I expected him. But because I know he knows what's best,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you said, that adversity
Yeah.
really is working in my favor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That F told me, if I don't want to fail this grade again, I better wake up and do something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go in and fight and make sure I get an A, next time I get an F, I'll be like, fight again.
Exactly.
It worked last
And
time.
then tell you, well, and sometimes they'll turn around. I didn't ask you to do that.
Yeah.
Right? You guys ever did something for someone and they're like, well, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah.
You didn't need
Mhm.
to do that.
Exactly.
And you like, what a slap in the face.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's too because in creating those barriers, because some of us are just natural fixers. We want to
Yes.
fix everything.
That is so true.
Not even that they asked us to intervene,
Yeah.
but you're just a natural fixer.
Yeah.
You got this elf. I need to get you in tutoring. I need to be the one to fix this. If now you becomes your problem
Yeah.
instead of allowing it to be their problem.
Yeah.
And so I think that is good where, in your statement of making sure that they are the ones
Yeah.
to fix it, not necessarily you being the one, because then they don't appreciate it.
They don't appreciate it.
Whatever you don't work for. I remember hearing this some years ago.
Yeah.
If you don't work or you don't pay for it, then it's not appreciated. There's no value there because you didn't
Exactly.
give up anything for it. But whatever you
Mhm.
work for, you pay for, you earn, there's a different appreciation and you value it because your own sweat and tears, your money went into it. And in most cases, if they're not making that investment, it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I'll get it again.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most
yeah.
And
definitely.
I can agree with you because I think for some of us, that running into help becomes a coping mechanism for us.
That's true.
A crutch, a crutch.
Yes.
That crutch. Yeah.
Exactly. So, what are some effective coping skills that people can implement to create that healthy balance in life?
So I love coping skills, and a lot of times we actually do coping skills, but we don't call it that, right? Or we may not recognize it as that. But a lot of times, depending on what you like, right, you got to find things that make you happy, that bring you joy. I always say, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, right? Because the world is what it is. If it's taking that time to go to the beach, if your serene place is the beach, go to the beach. I know some people are like, I don't like the beach. Then take a hike or whatever. If it's your backyard, it might be your old neighborhood, right? Where it was good memories there. Finding that peaceful place. There's a saying about music. Music is very powerful.
It is.
You know what I mean? And it's finding that peace and that serenity in music that actually help. You finding those things that make you happy, that make you feel at peace. A part of coping is actually, I'm talking about self-care a little later too, but acknowledging those feelings that you're having. I'm big on, I've had clients, they come in, they tell me traumatic experiences, they're crying, they're apologizing. I'm like, girl, why, and I talk like that, girl, why you apologizing? You're supposed to be crying.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Acknowledge those feelings. That's a part of being able to cope because you have to first acknowledge it, accept it, and then process it. But if you don't even acknowledge that you're sad,
Yeah.
you didn't acknowledge that you're upset, right? Because you're allowed to be upset.
Exactly.
Then there's the problem right there. How are you going to ever get through it?
That's real
Exactly.
good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
And I agree so much with that. I often like to say, sit in it.
Yeah.
Sit in how you feel.
Yeah.
If you're angry,
Yeah.
sit in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think sometimes we try to bypass things, and and maybe it's something that we learn. You
We've
know what I
learned
mean?
it, yeah. Like
From
you're doing something
generation to
wrong.
generation, it's like you don't never let nobody see you cry. Don't let them see that they affected you. And I can understand that in certain degrees, but sometimes we really have to sit in it.
Yeah.
So to me, and you can help me out with that,
Okay.
we have already lived in that moment. Now we don't have to relive it.
Yes. I say this, don't let your moment become your movement.
Love
That's
it.
good.
Don't let your
Listen.
moment become your
I'm
movement.
telling you, because what happens is when you keep on stifling it, pushing it down, because we've learned that. I was going to tell you guys about childhood adverse experiences. We have been through some traumatic experiences that we haven't even recognized. Don't cry if I give you something to cry about. You going to beat me because I'm crying? That's not normal. Now I'm like, okay, you're telling me without telling me, never show my feelings.
Exactly.
So what happens when we stifle things? They explode.
Yeah.
So that's why we see these aggressive behaviors,
Mhm.
or someone who are, the passive aggressive. That is a real thing.
Yes.
Yes.
The person that smiles at you, no problem, and then they go get you fired. Like, really? You know what I mean? But those are behaviors that are learned,
Mhm.
and it usually starts from our childhood.
Exactly.
Right? You're right. You definitely need to have the moment. It's okay to say, you know what? I didn't like that you said that to me. That hurt my feelings.
Exactly.
All of these things that were not so normal that we had to normalize, we have to unlearn
Yes.
a lot of these behaviors.
Yes.
That's absolutely true.
And I know definitely unlearning a lot of the learned behaviors that we've normalized. So how can we set healthy boundaries with the people we love most?
Ooh, say no. Here's the thing. Because what happens is when we say yes, 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 eventually it's going to turn to resentment.
Yeah.
And you don't want to feel like that about the people you love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's okay to say no, not right now. How about you try it and then call me, right? Or don't respond to that text. If it's not an emergency, I get the auntie texts all the time, auntie, and I already know it's something, and I
Mm-hmm.
give about a few hours. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh, I needed this, but I figured it out. Okay, call me if you need me. But
Exactly.
you gotta allow them to figure it out themselves. And like you were saying, sometimes we're the fixers. We're not even asked to do things, but we see it broken, we want to jump in. And then now they don't, like you said, they didn't learn the lesson, they didn't appreciate it, and now you're feeling some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
So setting those boundaries may be just watching how it goes, right?
Yes.
Watching how it goes, saying no, putting things in categories, and just setting those boundaries and those priorities.
And it's like no sometimes just seem like a curse word.
Mhm.
True.
It is like the forbidden word that
It's so
sometimes is
beautiful
so
though.
hard for so many people just to say,
Yeah,
even though no is a complete sentence.
it is. Yeah,
And I think I've had to kind of learn different ways to say
say
no.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you want to do it gentle, right? Because
Hmm.
some people will take it the wrong way. Then listen. You said yes your whole life to this person. One no, now they sabotaging you. They telling
Hmm.
you people you're not nice. So a lot of times we say we don't care, but we care. That hurts.
It does.
It really does hurt. So I understand. Definitely finding ways to say no, but saying no.
And I think too, there's often times when people are saying no, they are attaching it with an explanation. And
Yeah,
instead of just saying no without an explanation, it's okay.
that's okay.
Where they thinking, okay, no, because I have to do this. And so it's like you're convincing yourself that,
Mm,
it's okay for me to say no, but you don't have to convince yourself it is okay.
it's okay. And here's the thing: people that cross your boundaries, you can't cross theirs.
Yes.
You know, some people that's like, well, I wouldn't. You allowed that, but I would never allow that.
Hmm.
I see that a lot in couples therapy.
Yes.
There's always the one person, and I remember I had a this was a hard one. I had a couple, and they were talking, and the one of the you could tell the dynamic. There was someone pretty controlling,
Yes.
domineering, and it was not to go too much into it,
Yeah.
but they did something. The partner did something that was kind of minimal based on compared to what the other person did. And I said to the partner, I said, you can't be upset with her for setting boundaries and you didn't. And it was like, excuse me. I remember I got the reaction was like, excuse me. And I said, no disrespect, but they set their boundaries. They set their expectations. You didn't set any. And that was like a whole blow up, right?
Hmm.
Because it's the reality. Back in my day, we say
Exactly.
try. You can't try
Right.
Tina like that because Tina
Hmm.
gonna go off.
Uh-huh.
But Lisa will take whatever, and you give Lisa whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
a lot of times you have to recognize you can't be that Lisa.
Exactly.
Because now
Yes.
you pretty much telling the person it's okay to treat you that way.
Absolutely. I recently just had this conversation with somebody
Good.
else, similarly, and they was explaining what they were going through. I said, but that never have happened to me, and I've known them longer.
Mm.
I said, so you allow that.
Hmm.
Yes.
So you have to find your ways
Yeah. Yeah.
to let them know, I don't mind helping you,
Yeah.
but I will help you on my terms.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And if it's not what you desire,
Yeah.
then maybe I'm not the one to help you during
I'm,
this time.
I'm telling you, I tell and you saw me. Lakeisha saw me tell clients, this is the story of your life. Our lives are written. That's what I believe, right?
Yes.
You are the main character in every single chapter.
Mm.
I go deep, especially with my moms and stuff. I'm like, your kids are characters,
Yeah.
That's
are
right.
co-stars.
Uh-huh.
Your parents are co-stars, but you are the main chapter. Only you and God is in every chapter of that book. So if you don't recognize and acknowledge that, you can't make somebody else your superstar.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
good.
Because
Yes.
they're superstar in their story, especially people who cross your boundaries. They will always be number one in their story.
That's right.
And just talking about those boundaries, we know no, I believe, is a part of self-care.
It is.
And we often hear a lot talking about it's all over. I'm important. Self-care, self-care. So talking about self-care, what does that really mean? Not from the, perspective that we hear it all the time, social media, you hear it all over. It's a big
Mhm.
fad thing with self-care. It's
Mhm,
all about
mhm.
me.
Yeah.
What does that really mean from a therapeutic standpoint?
I tell people, listen, a lot of times what pulls us in and what catches us is what we need. And I am a big component of self-care because like I shared with you guys, sometimes boundaries wasn't set with the people I love most. So I am very big on self-care. I call it like your medication. there are different facets of self-care. So there is physical self-care, which is like usually your physical health. Are you going to your doctor's appointments? Because sometimes we leave that out.
Yeah.
At a certain age, you got to go to certain specialists, and it's not what you want. The prostate,
Yeah.
the mammograms. These are things that are designed for a reason. So that's a part of it, right? Your exercise, your diet, all that. I know we all have our things we got to work on, but to prioritize that and being intentional in it, right? And then there's also your emotional self-care, which is acknowledging those emotions, setting healthy emotional boundaries, right? Being able to say how you truly feel. And so that's two, right? It's like 6 of them. Then there's your mental self-care. If you need someone to talk to, go to a therapist.
Yes.
It's certain things that, guess what? They're like, I'll deal with it. I got over it. No, you didn't. Because as soon as someone walks in the room that looks like her or him, you triggered,
Exactly.
right? So have the conversation. Go to therapy if needed, right? Another part of mental self-care, sometimes just reading an article, just educating yourself on mental health. And mental health awareness is a part of mental self-care. Then there's actually social self-care. Who are you surrounding yourself with?
Yes.
You don't need to be around all the Debbie Downers. They are going to rub off on you. You're going to always be angry, So you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself around people who are positive and align with what your values are,
Yes.
right? Then there's your spiritual self-care. And I know people believe different things, but you have to have a foundation.
Yeah.
There's that, I heard this saying, like, we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think that's so true.
It is.
It doesn't matter what rooms I'm in, because I go in rooms, different people believe what they believe. But one person talked about your sixth sense, which I'm like, I thought it was your Holy Spirit, your subconscious, all of that. Depending
Yes.
on the rooms you're in, that's what it's going to be called something different.
Yes.
But that inner voice,
Mm.
that is present.
That's right.
Everybody acknowledges that, because
That's
that
right.
is very present, and you need to know that you got to feed that. You got to take care of your spiritual self-care as well.
Yes.
The last one is financial self-care.
Yeah.
So I think, especially as we get older, we start thinking about retirement
That's
and how
right.
we're really stewarding our funds and things like that. We have to be mindful that if you're not financially stable, a lot of times it will mess with your mental health.
It will.
So you got to be able to, kind of spend your money wisely, right? They say, what do they call it? Shopping?
Impulsive.
No, when they say, like, I went on a shopping spree.
Shop therapy.
Shop therapy.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good. So all your credit cards maxed out.
Exactly.
Let's talk about that. I was
Retail
in
therapy.
Retail
Retail
therapy.
therapy.
I was in one store, and the lady, apparently she applied for the card and hadn't even got the physical card. So she was using it because they give you, like, I guess the store I was in, they were given, I guess in Dillard's, they gave a temporary card number.
Okay.
And while there, and I was just sitting back and just looking, and I was like, oh my God. And she literally charged that same day to the max of what they had given her in credit.
Wow.
And I said to myself, she must be really going through something emotionally. really, just emotionally had to be bankrupt, that she wasn't physically there
Yeah.
to know what she was doing and how she was just spending. And
Yeah.
and it was just, I was sitting in the back like, okay, yeah, you really doing some retail therapy today.
real.
And it was like, I'll get this. And if I have enough, and I was sitting back like,
Wow.
okay. So and self-care is so important. But as you were talking, as from the lens of a therapist in that self-care, which area do you see? I know you can't divulge any details in regards to clients, but just an overall experience, which area is mostly abandoned?
I think I get a mixture. The emotional and the mental definitely shows up, because a lot of times people come to therapy when they're at their wits' end.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know what to do now, right? So they've kind of tapped out of those resources. So it needs to be a replenishing that happens. So I think that's a big thing. Social self-care too, because sometimes we align ourselves with people who really don't mean good for us.
Exactly.
And it may not be intentionally that they are that way. They might not have it to give.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get something from someone that they can't give you. And that happens a lot, I see, in therapy too. You
Yeah.
know? So everything else those are the main ones though. But I think all of them show up, right? They all show up to where they're neglected in some way or somehow, So we work on intentionally paying attention and giving yourself credit, because we all do some type of self-care, right? We just may not acknowledge it, but we want that gold star.
Yes.
I'm like, what did you do? Write it down. Acknowledge it, write it down, check it off. It feels good because we were by design, right? Elementary school teaches us where we do behavioralism. We want the gold star. We want to be in the best group. All of that was already programmed in our mind. I'm like, forgive me, but I'm like, school kind of is one of the best brainwash. I don't want to say brainwash. Well, I say it. I say brainwashing. But it also is one of the best motivations and teachings of us because we've learned structure through school.
Absolutely.
Right? We've learned how to coordinate, but it's all by design. So I'm like, the same ways that we were able to go in and make sure we beat the bell before so we don't get a detention.
Exactly.
The same way you need to show up in your life for yourself.
Yes, yes, that's good. Yeah.
And that's really good. I'm enjoying that. The social self-care. As a person who likes to claim myself to be introvert, I still enjoy being able to get out.
Yeah.
And it's you have to kind of pick your battles, who I'm gonna hang out with. You gonna mess up all my fun. Maybe we have to have therapy. It's like, sir, if I'm having one of my self-care moments and all I want to do is just watch TV. She said, you watching it? You watching it? I don't see how you watching it. Because it's giving me a break from the reality that I live every day. And I'm just enjoying that. There's too much of that going on. I'm like, but I can ignore that part. I'm just enjoying this moment.
I kind of like your guilty self-pleasures. I'm like my guilty self-pleasure. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You can have your fun. I've just learned now. I know how to remove myself from what that I don't deem as fun.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? And okay, I know this is a little bit off of the question, but there is a beautiful thing when you have a partnership, right? You guys have the partnership, but you also have like interdependency.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right? To where you have your own lives, which is okay because the world teaches you y'all supposed to be like this forever, like all the time. And that's not reality because there's two worlds coming into one.
It is.
Right? And that pressure of feeling like I need to like everything he like, I need to like everything she like. That's not reality.
It's not.
And I think that's the problem. You do, right? And then you come together when you need to.
Exactly.
And that's actually what, studies show is the most healthy relationships is when you're not codependent, which I kind of make codependent looks like this, but you're more interdependent.
Yeah.
You're still touching, the worlds are still coming together, but if they need to go, you need to go to the spa, Lakeisha. You need to go to the boys' outing, to the sports, whatever you like. You can do that and you come back together, right?
Exactly.
And that's what's recommended, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where you become, I think, having your own identity as well. Although becoming one together, but still having that individual identity. And I often say in self-care, and I was thinking about this as we were preparing for this segment, I was just thinking, okay, self-care for my husband. I remember him telling me some time ago, when he says, he's doing self-care or he wants to be alone, that does not include me or the children. Like if he don't want to be bothered, we can bother him. But for me, it's different. When I say I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be bothered by you or the children. I don't want to be bothered, and it's okay because when I say I want self-care, for me, if I'm going into my own space and I just want to be me and my thoughts, me and my heartbeat, me and my voice. If I'm talking, I don't want to hear the kid's voice. I don't want to hear the kid's thoughts. I want to hear my own. And so that's where it's different. And it's okay to have those differences. In the beginning, I was like, when he said that to me, and I was like, ooh, I don't feel the same. Should I feel bad? But as I evolved, as an individual and evolved in our marriage, no, that's just who I am. And for me to suppress who I am just to accommodate who he is, it's not going to help our marriage because I'm going to now only become more mad and angry, at the situation and frustrated with it because I'm not being truthful and living in my truth. The truth is, when I say I want to be by myself in self-care, I want to be by myself.
That's
and
right.
It's okay.
And that's okay.
And when I recognize that, it's going to be me and the boys day out.
That's okay.
We gone.
And
we out of here.
How beautiful is that? Y'all have your own time, your own little secret,
Exactly.
your own little whispers about mommy. And Lakeisha gonna say, I don't care. With my hair written in the spot.
I'm okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much.
Thank
This is like not your
you.
first time on our platform in a sense, because you came to our live event that we did
I had
as
such a
one of the
great time.
experts.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you. We enjoyed you
you.
so much
Thank you.
during that. We had to bring you back here.
Thank you. I appreciate
Your
it.
expertise, your wisdom, truly
you.
love speaks through you.
Thanks, Dad.
Yes,
Thank
that
you
I've
so
seen it on
much.
every level, even though you're professional. Thank you so much for being one of the greatest supervisors ever.
Thank you. Look at
So we have a game that we started introducing in our season 2. Would you rather?
Okay.
Okay, so this is a question.
Ooh, okay.
Just let us know what you rather. Would you rather have a high-paying job that you dislike or a low-paying job you love?
So here's the thing. I'm a hustler. Look, I don't know. They say that's not a good word, but I come from a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So I'm gonna tell you, I would take the low paying job where I'm happy because peace is everything. But I'm gonna find another way to make some money. So that's the truth.
All right, that's a
Exactly.
good answer. I
I'm
think
with
I
you
would.
with that.
I'm with you on that. I would do the same.
Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
being with us. We
Yes.
appreciate your expertise. We appreciate your love
Thank
and your
you.
passion.
Thank you.
So, look, if you need someone to talk to,
Wait, before we do, she did write a book, so I do want to make sure
thank
you mention that. She has a dynamic workbook. Just tell them about the workbook because it's all about mental health. It's all becoming the best
Yeah.
versions of yourself.
Thank you, Lakeisha. Every now and again, I forget about it, and I shouldn't,
you
right?
remember.
I need to be intentional. But it's a really good workbook. I got
Yes.
great feedback about it. I'm not just saying it because I wrote it.
Yes.
But it's called Your Worth is Priceless, which I believe.
Mm.
You can find it on Amazon. If they have it available, you can order it. It'll come directly to you. But it's called Your Worth is Priceless.
Excellent.
And it surrounds it around self care, a lot of mental health experiences from my clients. I kind of wrap that into the book, so it has a lot of different aspects. All the dynamics of self care is in that book too. So it's a workbook. It's a journal. I share some personal stories in there. It's really good. So check it out.
That's good. Your Worth is Priceless.
It's priceless.
Awesome. By Camilla Cross. Your Worth is Priceless by Camilla Cross. Go to Amazon and get that. You need somebody to talk to. You need to look up Your Worth, LLC, with Miss Camilla Cross. Everybody needs somebody.
That's right.
Everybody. And sometimes those who are the closest to us aren't the best to talk to. So seeking somebody who is certified, educated, and can relate, we have a person for you. This has been Love Speaks. We thank you so much. We really appreciate you liking, you sharing, you subscribing on all of our platforms. And please come back to see us again.
Yes. Don't forget now. Also, we have Love Speaks Unplugged
Absolutely.
on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. So make sure you are plugging in with us on Love Speaks Unplugged.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Have a great one.
Love Speaks is what love is. Love is culturally, love is spiritually, love is connective, and love is current. And so we're so grateful to have you here. So do us a favor, like, share, subscribe on whatever platform that you have and hit the notification button. So every time that we come on, you know, hey, we are here. Every week we're releasing a new episode of great information, and we want you to be a part of it. We do all this with you in mind.